Hello student, I am Dr. Kanak and today we will learn Pharmacognosy 1, the topics various factors influencing cultivation of medicinal plants. These are the factors which influence in the development of medicinal plants, in the growth of medicinal plants. These factors are 10 in numbers. The number 1 is altitude, temperature and humidity, rainfall and irrigation, soil and soil fertility, fertilizers, pest and pest control, plant hormones, polyploidy, greenhouse effects, and hybridization. Here I have made these all points in a bullet form so that easy to recall. You people can mug up easily. Now one by one we'll go into the detail of each factor, how this factor affects growth of medicinal plant. Now the altitude is the most important factor influencing of cultivation of medicinal plants. We all know that the increase the altitude, the temperature and atmospheric pressure gets decreases, while the wind velocity, relative humidity and light intensity increases. Thus, as the climatic conditions change with height, they also produce change in the vegetation pattern. Like C, tea, cinchona, and eucalyptus are cultivated favorer on altitude of 1000 to 2000 meters. Cinchona, cinnamon, and cardamom are grown at the height 1000 meters, while senna can be cultivated at sea level. See the level of heights we go. Every medicinal plants have their own favorable conditions to be grown, to be developed. Like clove can be developed up to the 900 meters of height. Camphor can be developed up to the height of 1500 to 2000 meters. And cinnamon can be developed better if the height of the level is 1000 to 2000 meter. The second factor is temperature and humidity. Temperature and humidity are the another major factors for the cultivation of medicinal plant. Sudden decreases in temperature cause the formation of the icy crystals in intracellular spaces of the plant. As a result, water comes out of the cells and ultimately plant dies due to drought or desiccation. The rate of photosynthesis is affected by change in temperature. The rate of respiration also increases with increase in the temperature. Humidity is present in the form of water vapors. This is called atmospheric humidity. Like clouds and fogs are the visible form of humidity. Humidity affects structure, form of transpiration in the plant. Like, see the example, cinchona is for cinchona 60 to 75 degree Fahrenheit is a suitable temperature. For coffee 55 to 70 degree Fahrenheit, and for tea 70 to 90 degree Fahrenheit. Now the rainfall and irrigation is also one of the factor which affects development of medicinal plant. We all know, except in the xerophytes, most of other plants need water and proper irrigation and sufficient rainfall for their development. The rainfalls are most important factor influencing of cultivation of medicinal plants. The main source of water for the soil is rainwater. Rainwater and snowfall have a large effect on the climate conditions. The water from rainfall flows into the rivers and lakes and percolates into the soil to form groundwater, and remaining is evaporated. The minerals in the soil get dissolved in water and are then absorbed by plants. Water influences morphologically and physiologically the plant. Examples: continuous rain can lead to a loss of water-soluble substances from the leaves and root by leaching. So even excess rainwater is not favorable. Excess irrigation is not favorable for the medicinal plants. The other factor is soil and soil fertility. Soil is the most important natural resources as it supports growth of all plants. We all know soil provides mechanical strength, encourage as well as the essential plant food elements for the plant. The capacity of soil to supply plant nutrient quantities and proportion required and to provide suitable medium for plant growth is known as soil fertility. The soil is formed as a result of combined action of climate factors like plant and microorganism. The soil should contain appropriate amount of nutrients, organic matter, and other elements to ensure optimal medicinal plant growth and quality. Optimal soil conditions are soil type, drainage, moisture retention, fertility, and pH range. May vary 6.5 to 7.5. Acidic soils can be limed or alkaline soils can reclaimed by gypsum. Acidic soils are not suitable for leguminous plant due to the poor development of nodule bacteria. What is leguminous plant? It's a peas. These are the 5 ingredient components through which soil is being made. What are those components? Mineral matter, soil air, soil water, organic matter or humus, and soil organism. We have 5 different type of soil also. That the type of soil may be clay, may be loamy, may be silt loamy, may be sandy loamy, or may be calcareous soil. Now, what is the difference of all these soil from each other? The clay type of soil, the clay particle are very small. Sizes of coarse clay may be 0.002 to 0.02 millimeter. Whereas loamy, it is a mixture of clay silt and sand in the percentage of 30 to 50%. Silt loamy is most textile as it contains more amount of organic substance than other. Sandy loamy, the amount of sand particles are more. And in calcareous, rich with nutrient elements more than 20% loam. Now here are the types of soil, little bit in detail, more detail. Clay soil. The clay particles are very small. These fits together very closely and therefore leave very less pore space. These spaces gets filled up with water very easily. Hence, the clay soil becomes quickly waterlogged. This soil known as physiologically dry soil because plants growing in these soil are not able to absorb water. Whereas loam soil is a mixture of clay, silt and sand is known as loam. The loam is very useful for growth. It is fertile soil because it contains available nutrients elements in sufficient amounts. Silt loam is considered to be the most fertile as it contains more amount of organic substances than others. Whereas sandy loam, the amount of the sand particle is more than other type of loam. Calcareous soil is rich with nutrient elements more than 20% of loam. Now, what is sandy oil? Sandy soil. The sand particles are large sized. These leave large pore spaces which do not have capillary action and therefore water is not retained by them. Most of the water is quickly drained off and reaches deep into the soil. The sandy soil is poor in nutrient element. It is less fertile. Any type of soil containing less than 0.5% organic matter is described as poor soil. Any type of soil containing 1.5 up to 5% organic matter is considered described as a rich soil. Any type of soil containing 0.5 to 1.5% organic matter described as intermediate good soil. How we would describe soil fertility? It is the capacity of soil to provide nutrients in adequate amount and in balanced proportion to plants. If cropping is done without fortification of soil with plant nutrients, soil fertility gets lost. Soil fertility can be maintained by addition of animal manures, nitrogen fixing bacteria, or by application of chemical fertilizers. Now, what is the another type of factor which affects growth of medicinal plant, and that is fertilizer. A fertilizer is any material of natural or maybe synthetic origin other than liming material that is applied to soil or plant tissues, usually leaves, to supply one or more plant nutrients essentially to the growth of plants. Fertilizers Fertilizer is nutrients which are necessary for development and growth of the plant. The second mode by some fertilizer act is to enhance the effectiveness of the soil by modifying its water retention and aeration. Fertilizers are either applied to the soil directly on the plant or added to aqueous solutions in order to maintain soil fertility, improve crop development, yield, and crop quality. See, here is the images using the different way of using fertilizers. Now, there are different type of fertilizers. The types of fertilizer will go. The first type is fertilizer which originates through biological origin. Is number one is manure. Manure is material which are mixed with soil. These supply almost all the nutrients required by the crop plants. This result in the increases in crop productivity. Manures are of three types. Number one is farmyard manure, composite manure, and green manure. The farmyard manure is called FYM is the short form, is made through the cow dung manure and poultry manure. The composite manure is organic nitrogen supplement, bone meal or fish meal. The green manure is neem seed cake, vermicompost, oil cake. What is biofertilizer? It can be defined as biologically active products or bacteria or algae and fungi, which useful in bringing about soil nutrient enrichment. That is rhizome, Azobacter. We all are aware about the action of rhizome Azobacter. Major nutrients are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. The secondary nutrients is calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. Micronutrients or trace elements are these are the element called considered as in micronutrients in the soil, that is boron, chlorine, copper, iron, manganese, molybdenum, and zinc. 16 elements necessary for plant growth and developments. These are the 16 elements which are necessary for plant growth, and these are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, boron, chlorine, copper, iron, manganese, molybdenum, and zinc. These are the items gets from soil, and it is fertilizer. And these are the items received gets through air or water in the soil. Now these are the major nutrients. What does it do in the how it supports the plant in developing their achieving their good health. Nitrogen is the main nutrient for strong, vigorous growth, good leaf color, and photosynthesis. So nitrogen is very important for the development of plant. Plant are plant that are almost all leaves, such as lawn grasses, need plenty of nitrogen. So the plant which is having a lot of green leaves, they need a lot of nitrogen. So the first number in fertilizer for lawn is especially high because grass must continuously renew itself after mowing. The higher the number, the more nitrogen and fertilizer provides. Phosphorus. It promotes root development, which helps strengthen plant. It also increases blooms on flowers and ripening of seed and fruit. Lots of phosphorus is great for bulb, perennial, and newly planted trees and shrubs. They depend on strong roots, so fertilizers meant for these plants often have high middle numbers. Potassium, it improves the overall health of plants. It helps them withstand very hot or cold weather, defend against diseases, helps fruit formation, photosynthesis, and the uptake of other nutrients. Potassium works along with nitrogen. So if you add nitrogen to the soil, it is important to add potassium at the same time. We'll discuss that was the earlier one where these were the category of major nutrients. Now we will discuss secondary nutrients and then trace element. So what are secondary nutrients? Secondary nutrients are calcium, magnesium, sulfur. So how calcium is important? For general plant vigor and promotes good growth of young roots and shoot. Calcium also helps to build cell walls. Magnesium helps regulate uptake of other plant foods and aids in seed formation. As it is contained in chlorophyll, it is also important in the dark green color of plants and for the ability of the plant to manufacture food from sunlight. Sulfur helps maintain a dark green color while encouraging more vigorous plant growth. Sulfur is needed to manufacture chlorophyll. So we categorize the types of nutrients, major, secondary, and trace element. Now, what is the third type? Trace element. So trace elements were boron, chlorine, copper, iron, manganese, molybdenum, and zinc. So boron helps in cell development and help to regulate plant metabolism, whereas chlorine is involved in photosynthesis. Copper helps plant to metabolize nitrogen. Iron assists in the manufacture of chlorophyll and other biochemical processes. Manganese is needed for chlorophyll production. Molybdenum helps plants to use nitrogen, and zinc is used in development of enzyme and hormones. So these were the factors related with soil and soil fertilizer. Now we'll go to other factor, and that is pest and pest control. A pest is an organism that causes an epidemic diseases associated with high mortality. Type of pest. The different types of pests infecting medicinal plants are fungi, viruses, insects flying, that is adult moth, flies and larvae, crawling insects, that is beetles, weevil, cockroaches, rodents, mice, maybe from field and house, rats, birds, pigeons, crows, starling other mammals, snakes, cats, and dogs. So these are the pests which disturb in the development and growth of plants. So lot of methods are there to control this disturbance. So method of pest control, number one is mechanical method. It employs manual labor along with the different devices for collection and disruptions of pest. For example, hand picking to remove insects. Through hand we can pick and remove the insects. Pruning is means scrubbing, peeling off, burning, and trapping of pest. So through these four techniques, we can prevent the damage of plant from the pest. Now the second method is agricultural method. What is agricultural method? It covers advanced plant breeding techniques capable of inducing genetic manipulations resulting in production hybrid varieties which are resistant to fungal and bacteria attack. So the agriculture through the inducing genetic manipulation, the plant gets resistant towards particular fungal and bacteria attack. Another aspect in agriculture control is ploughing, which should be sufficiently so that it decreases as to eradicate weeds as well as early stage of insects. The third is chemical method. Pests are controlled by using chemical pesticides. Now we all know that but though this is very harmful for the human being, but for taking care of good growth of medicinal plants, we do use chemical also. So insecticides like DDT, Gamaxin, Parathion, Malathion. Fungicides, Bordiox mixture, chlorophenols, antibiotics. Herbicides to control weeds like 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid and sulfuric acid. Biological control methods. This method is practiced by combating the pest, mostly the insects, which other living organisms. If this method is properly designed, it may emerge as an effective, safe, and economical method of pest control. The chemical substances produced and released by some female insects are capable to eliciting a sexual response from the opposite sex, which could be exploited for biological control of pest and called sex pheromones. For example, 7,8-epoxy-2-methyl octadecane from gypsum moth. Natural pest control agents are tobacco, Nux vomica, and neem. These are the chemicals which we do use to control the pest. Now, the another type of factor which affect medicinal growth of medicinal plant is plant hormones. It is a hormone-like synthetic organic compound in a small amount. It modifies the growth and development either by promoting or inhibiting the growth. Like general plant hormones are the phytohormones are broadly grouped under 5 major classes, namely auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, abscisic acid, ethylene. Now auxins, what effect they shown on the plant? Auxins, they helps in the elongation of plant cells. Gibberellins, it helps in elongation of plant, also in the cell division. So the both combined together, it translated into the growth of plant. Cytokinins, it helps in cell division and it inhibits senescence. What is this? The process of aging. So it helps, cytokinins help in inhibiting the senescence. Aging of plant, it inhibits. Abscisic acid is abscission of leaves and fruits. Abscission is what? Is the act of cutting or getting detached from the plant. So abscisic acid helps the plants in retaining their fruit and leaves with them. Ethylene promotes senescence, epinastyle, and fruit ripening. So these are the plant hormones which we use for different purpose in the growth of medicinal plant. Polyploidy. What is polyploidy? The term Euploidy is a type of ploidy in which genome contain whole set of chromosomes, and euploidy includes monoploidy, diploidy, or polyploidy. When some plant contain more than two genomes, it is called polyploidy. So polyploidy is caused by artificially induced methods and physical agents like colchicine, veratrin, sulfanilamide, and mercury chloride. The significant effect of polyploidy is what? Greater significance to medicinal plant. It may cause formation of new species like mutation, sudden change in genotype causing qualitative and quantitative alteration of genetic material called mutation. Mutation can artificially produced by certain agents called mutagens. So here is the type of mutagens, physical mutagens and chemical mutagens. The physical mutagens are ionizing radiations, X-ray, gamma radiation, cosmic ray, non-ionizing radiations, and ultraviolet radiations. Now, chemical mutagens are alkylating agents like nitrogen and sulfur mustard, acridines, and proflavins, nitrous acid. Now, another factor is hybridization. What is hybridization? Is the process of crossing two genetically different individuals to result in a third individual with a different, often preferred set of traits. Plant of the same species cross easily and produce fertile progeny. Wide crosses are difficult to make and generally produce sterile progeny because of chromosome pairing difficulties during meiosis. Hybridization of plant occurs in nature through various mechanisms. Some plants, such as the oil palm, are insect pollinated, and others, such as maize and corn, are wind pollinated. Such plants are referred to as cross pollinated plants. Natural hybridization has played a significant role in producing new genetic combinations and is the norm in cross-pollinated plant. It is a common way of generating genetic variability. So through the hybridization, we can generate a very new, different type of individual plant with the preferred sets of traits in it. Charles Darwin, we all know that in the 10th class also we have learned the Charles Darwin demonstration reported the result of his experiment with maize. He indicated that in 24 crosses, there was an increase in plant height, which was attributed to hybridization, and that decrease in plant height was associated with self-pollination. Hybrids are immensely variable. Qualitatively, hybrids may express all of the secondary chemicals of the parent taxa may fail to express certain parental chemicals or may express novel chemicals that are absent in each parent. Now, this is the last factor which affect growth of medicinal plant, and that is called greenhouse effect. We all know the greenhouse effect. There is a natural greenhouse effect that keeps the earth climate warm and habitable. Normally, a sun ray reaches the earth and heat is radiated back into the space. However, when carbon dioxide concentration increases in the atmosphere, it forms a thick cover and prevents the heat from being re-radiated. So consequently, the atmosphere gets heated and the temperature increases. This is called greenhouse effect. There is also the man-made greenhouse effect, which is the enhancement of Earth's natural greenhouse effect by the addition of greenhouse gases from the burning of fossil fuel, mainly petroleum, coal, and natural gas. Greenhouse gases includes water vapors, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, ozone, and some artificial chemicals such as chlorofluorocarbons. This mainly affect plant growth and development and the yield. Thank you.